All right, so the big lull of 2022 kicked off middle part of the summer. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why I think that lull is getting ready to come to an end. We're going to end up 2022 pretty strong in real estate. This is Steve, Malone Realty Group, EXP in Atlanta. All right, so looking at all the numbers, looking at all the buyers, looking at all the sellers, looking at what's going on. It's been a crazy couple months, okay? Once the rates hit 6.25%, 6.5%, the train came off the tracks. It all just came to an end. Okay, it was like night and day. Somebody flipped the switch. Buyers left. We had homes that we were selling in the same neighborhood that from week to week had a markedly different number of showings, number of offers, all of that, to the point where now, for about a month, it was just a ghost town. I mean, you had homes that were dropping their prices like crazy. You had, just far fewer homes going under contract, things like that. So it's been a crazy market the last couple months. That being said, a lot of people are nervous about what does that mean. Looking at the numbers, looking at the market, looking at the economy, looking at all those things, I really feel confident saying after Labor Day, things are going to improve dramatically. The buyers are going to come back in after Labor Day, which is what we typically see. But we're going to talk about there's 5 reasons. Like I said, 5 reasons why I think things are going to improve after Labor Day. So let's get into it. All right, number 1, the interest rates. That was the final straw that broke the camel's back, was the interest rates hitting 6.25%, 6.5%. The market, the pandemic market, was going crazy. It was going for 2 years. Something had to kind of bring the market to an end. Everything hit the rates hitting 6.5%. I think all the buyers looked at themselves at the exact same moment. They all said, "We're done," and they all walked away at the exact same moment. And the market just completely came off the tracks at the exact same moment across the country. It was pretty amazing how quickly it happened across the country and in an unusual time and at an unusual rate. Normally we have a summer lull, but it happens a good month later, month and a half later. And it really never happens on this magnitude. This was a pretty big drop, especially in the metro Atlanta area. Okay, so that being said, the rates since then have come way down. They're down in the low to mid 5s right now. At moments, they're right at 5. They're probably going to go somewhere between the upper 4s to mid 5s over the next probably 6 months or so. They're just going to kind of bounce back and forth. There's going to be a lot of market forces pushing this or that, but I don't think there's going to be a major move. I don't think there's any major moves left, especially on the upper side. Maybe on the low side there's some moves left. Maybe it gets down into the upper 4s. I don't think it's the mid 4s, but I think there's a better chance of being in the mid 4s than back in the 6s, the way everything looks right now. Where I think it's going to be somewhere in the upper 4s to near 5 to around 5.5. And it's going to go back and forth in that area. But that's where the rates are going to be for the next 6 months or so. It's a good point lower than where it was in the middle of June. It's a good point to 2 points higher than it was last year. So that stinks. Buyers don't like that. But the sticker shock is over. Buyers are going to look at that. They're going to say, all right, upper 4s, low 5s. This is as good as it's going to get. Let's jump back in. I think the rates being where they are right now is going to be enough to draw some buyers back in. That's number 1. The rates are better. Number 2, the number of new loan applications are actually up over the last couple of weeks. People are starting to look at potentially getting out there and buying houses. So there's a difference between people looking at houses and people looking at houses who have a loan approval. Those people are actually wanting to buy a house. That's a big difference. So we're having more of those. I think we're going to see a bigger improvement in those as well over the next month or so leading up towards Labor Day. So I think the buyers are starting to jump back in, starting to look. Fall season is a thing. We have a lull in the summer, then buyers come back in the fall. I think that's going to happen. We're already seeing indications of that starting to happen right now, especially with the rates being down. So the number of new applications is up. Buyers are starting to set themselves up to jump back in. So that's number 2. Number 3, there's more homes to choose from. This is great. So coming out of July in the metro Atlanta area, we had about 12,000 homes on the market, July 31st, okay? About 12,000 homes. That is the highest number that we've seen at the end of a month since September of 2020. So almost 2 years, okay? About 22 months since it's been this high. Now, that is obviously the best we've seen in a while. Before the pandemic, in the summer before the pandemic, we saw the number of homes on the market being somewhere in the neighborhood of like 20,000 homes, 19 to 20,000 homes every month. So that's kind of the mid-water mark. Now keep in mind that 19 to 20,000 homes, that was still a seller's market. Okay, 2019 now was not a banana seller's market, but it was still a seller's market. So if 19 to 20,000 is a seller's market, there's probably more people in Atlanta right now, and we only have 12,000. That means that we're still a very strong seller's market, but we have more homes to choose from than we've seen. Okay, so that's giving buyers a chance to go out and look at more homes. And the people that we talk to all the time, the kind of the thing that people always say is, oh man, I don't want to sell my house because I got nowhere to go. I don't want to sell my house because I got nowhere to go. Some of those people are starting to say, all right, there's some houses out there. Let's put our house on the market and let's take the jump. So there are some people who are taking that jump right now, putting their house in the market, finding a house, which means that more houses are coming on the market. So for the longest time, people who said, well, I'm not going to sell my house because I can't find anything, that's one less house going on the market. So there's even less stuff to choose from. Now we're starting to swing in the other direction. So that's good news. We're getting more homes. Buyers like that. Buyers want homes to choose from. Number 4, we kind of alluded to this a second ago. This market turn down or correction or whatever you want to call it in mid-June, very unusual. Okay. Typically, when we look at the graph, and we've done these looks, you can go back through my YouTube. We did a longer, kind of deeper dive on the stats. We won't do that right now. But when you look at the pending sales every month, it goes up and it goes down, and it goes up and it goes down, and it goes up. The down is always December. December is always a month where there's the least amount of pending sales. Now, December can be one of the busiest months of actual closings because things go pending in October and November to close in December because people want to be in place for January 1st for a new job or a new school or whatever. So there's a lot of closings in December. As far as people going out and looking at houses, putting in offers, December is not a good month for that. There's a lot of stuff going on in December, okay? So when we look at what happened in July, the number of pending sales that we had in July, and you look at the graph, it is way down, okay? It is a huge valley in the stats. Only like 4,700 pending sales last month, which is crazy low, okay? And it's also crazy low for July. Normally we get like a little low. This is a major low. It's very uncharacteristic. I'm a stats guy. I love looking at the stats. I look at the patterns, look at whatever. This is very off pattern. This is very not supposed to happen, okay? Now, when something like this happens, it's because something crazy has happened. Like, we had a big lull in April of 2020. That was a month right after COVID hit. COVID hit, people said, we're not going out to put offers on houses because we can't leave our house. So, April of 2020, we had a huge drop in the number of pending sales. Came back up a little bit in May, and then it took off from there. So that was a disruption in the pattern. The disruption in the pattern was the interest rate finally kind of breaking the camel's back. Now we're at a point where the interest rates pulled back a little bit, and we got to take a look at what's going on in the market. I think the market forces are really lined up to where decent rates historically, yeah, it's not 2 to 3%, but they were that artificially low because of the pandemic. You have more houses on the market now than we've seen in a couple years. Unemployment's very low, so you have a lot of buyers who are going to be qualified. And buyers are going to be able to go out there and actually put in offers and not have to worry about, being $100,000 over asking price, waiving inspections, whatever. There's a lot of market forces in place saying that this is not a bad time to buy a house. So when you're in a position where it's not a bad time to buy a house and you have those numbers way down, something's off. So what my opinion is that is just, it's a brief blip, a brief correction. I think those numbers are going to come back up a little bit in August, and then I think they're going to come roaring back in September, the number of pending sales. The buyers are there, the rates are there, the economy is there, everything is there to support having a market that's strong. I just think the buyers really got sticker shock. They really got priced out of the market. They just want to walk away. All the shock is worn off. At the end of the day, they wanted to buy a house. This is their opportunity to get back in and buy a house. They're going to come back. So, just a weird timing on that big drop in June and July. And I think that weird timing means that it's going to correct itself in time for September. That's my guess. We'll see how it plays out. Number 5, and we talked about this, the market for the buyers is better. Again, you can put in an offer on a house. There's no guarantees that there's not going to be multiple offers. Okay, I have a buyer. We just went under contract with her. We had 3 offers total that we had to compete with. We won. That's a lot better than having 45 offers to compete with and trying to win. That's just crazy town. If you're doing that, you have to go $100,000 over asking price, and we don't want to do that anymore. We also don't want to waive inspection. We don't want to waive the appraisal contingency. We don't want to do any of that. No buyer should have to do that. So that being said, the fact that we don't have to do that is a good thing. Buyers are going to see that. Buyers are going to see that the rates are not bad. They're going to see that they can get a decent price. Are the prices higher than they want to pay? Yes, because the last couple of years have been crazy as far as the number or the prices going up. I don't think the prices are going to go up as much the next couple of years. They've been on the order of 15 to 20% every year. It's probably going to go back to being like 5 to 10% every year. Okay, because the pandemic market is over. It's unhealthy to go up that much every single year. But that being said, are the prices going to go down at all? I don't think they're going to go down at all here in the Metro Atlanta area. There are other areas where they may go down. There are price points where they may go down, like value-wise. But if you're talking about in some of the hot spots across the Metro Atlanta area, like Alpharetta, Roswell, Suwanee, Buford, things like that, are prices going to go down? I think they're just going to slow, but I don't know if they go down. One of the things that you may see is you see a lot of prices being dropped on houses on the market. Those houses that are dropping their prices, that doesn't mean that home prices are dropping. That means that those people tried to sell their house for too much money. The market will dictate where the price should be. If somebody sold their house for, let's say, $400,000 back in April, they listed for $350,000, they sold it for $400,000, they had like 50 offers and whatever. You can't sell it now for $450,000. You're probably going to have to sell it for close to that $4,000 because the market doesn't support having 80 offers on every property. So we need to get back into pricing it right, having it staged, all the good stuff. So does that mean that the market's bad? No, it just means that it's a real estate market. We're back to real estate, okay? Buyers have things to choose from. Sellers, there aren't as many houses as there should be, so sellers they're going to get good prices on the house if the house looks the part and is priced correctly. And if you're buying a house, you're buying a house that's going to go up in value for at least the next 3 to 5 years. There are no market forces that are showing us right now that home prices are going to collapse like they did in 08 or 09. Okay, there's no market forces at all showing that. Anybody who's showing that on YouTube, it's clickbait. And at the end of the video, they're asking you to go on their course and go on their whatever and pay them money so they can tell you more about that. You don't have to pay me anything to tell you my opinion on stuff. You call me anytime and we'll talk about it. You can even tell me I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last time. But my thought is, market's still good for buyers. So there's your big five. Again, the rates are lower. The number of new home loans going up. There are more homes to choose from. The timing of this drop is weird, and I don't think it's going to last very long. And the market is still there for buyers, or the market is finally there for buyers, I should say. Buyers are going to be able to go out and pick a house and actually get a decent price for it. Not necessarily the price that they want, probably. I'm not saying you're going to get a screaming deal, but I am saying that you don't have to pay $100,000 over asking price more than likely. That market's over. But I think that this new market in fall kicks off after Labor Day. You have any questions? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I full of it? You wouldn't be the first one to tell me that. Let me know. 470-233-4409. Drop it in the comments below. I'll catch you later. Steve, Malone Realty Group, EXP. Bye. Hey, thanks for watching the video today. If you want more information on what's going on in the real estate market, take a look at some of these videos over here that we've posted. Keeping up with what buying, selling, things that are going on in the North Georgia market. But if you want to keep up with everything that we post to our YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel down there, bottom right. That way you won't miss out on anything.